We're live. Woo.
So I shouldn't drop an F-bomb right now?
Do not say anything bad in the first 2-ish minutes.
I literally was thinking the same.
Welcome, everyone. We're here. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment in the chat. Say hello. Send a wave emoji. All right. Today, we're going to go over strength methods. Tyler was the only one who came prepared. Everyone else is going to use their brains because we smart. I'm just kidding. Before that, we're going to talk about Legends. I'm going to be going to Legends tomorrow, leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. That's how the song goes, right? Hello, Renata.
You'll be back Sunday.
I think you'll probably be back Monday or Sunday.
Yeah, got 4 athletes competing. Shout out to Mona, Christelle, Brian, and Lauren. We got 2, Christelle and Lauren are in the 40 to 44 female division. If you guys want to follow along, Brian is in the 50 to 54, and Mona's in the 60 to 64 female division.
I have a guy he's one of my clients from DTC, so he's technically not a pack athlete. His name is Lowell. Yep, Lowell Hansen. He's 60 to 64. Yep.
Sick. All right, well, tell him to find me. I'll talk to him.
I will.
Be out there. I don't know. I want to do, well, I won't ruin it. Whatever. People, whoever watches this, I want to do like interviews. Like literally when they come off the floor, I want to be like, all right, how'd that workout go?
Just pull up a StreamYard and just run it all day.
No, I just hold my camera and give them the mic and then ask them questions like Sevon does, like behind the scenes.
Instagram Live.
That'd be funny.
No, I'm not going to Instagram Live. I hate that.
Okay.
I hate it. I'm sure you all would love it because you get to watch, but
dude, I don't ever do it. So.
I could be out there like holding like 5 million cameras and
be a better person. Be a better media coach, organizer.
Hashtag small team. Yeah, you got me.
Well, last year we tried to Instagram Live it, remember? And
we tried.
We had to.
Actually, you did a pretty good job Instagram living it, Heather.
Yeah, the only problem was that I had to delete them afterwards because then everyone was like trying to go back and watch videos and this athlete was doing this and blah, blah, blah.
That's true.
And trying to call out their scores and that didn't get called during the live event. So that was kind of
actually that is 100% true. I remember that. And I was like, we got to stop living it.
Yeah. Well, we lived it for the people that weren't there, but then we had to like delete it because people were
we like live, but how it stays, we then started deleting them because there were people like pulling them up and then arguing scores.
Trying to appeal other people's scores.
You would think 40-plus-year-old people would be way less petty, but hey, here we are.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I don't think that's true.
35-year-olds, I expect it, but 40 plus, come on.
No, this was happening in like the 55 division.
I know, 40 plus.
Our geriatrics love to die for points. They will just throw each other under the bus.
Look at Dan squat below parallel. Yeah, neither did you. Be quiet.
Neither did you. They did a glide kip. I didn't. It's like, it's close enough.
It's just over the bar. They're 70 years old. Let them have bar. Jeez Louise. So fierce out there, just
savage.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Whatever. I like it. It's good. As long as
you're excited for your trip.
Yeah. As long as hold on real quick. As long as you are okay with getting called out for calling somebody out and you can put up a fight, I don't mind it. Go ahead. But if you you put up a fight and you like complain and then you're like, oh, I don't want to be, and it's like, why'd you even say anything then? Keep that to yourself.
Right.
Anyways, it's gonna be exciting. I mean, I'm more or less excited to see because Legends is in charge of the Masters CrossFit Games. I don't know if they should be doing this one, like the championships. I think they should just focus on the games because I know that they get overextended for sure. It's hard to run a competition. Like that's just the nature of it. So them doing 2 in the year so close together, I just hope that it's not diminished. But they do have the support of Jason, the First Form rep, and the guy who runs Monster Games, and then Harley, you've talked to him, the Desert Classic. I think they're trying to get something creative going on. I'm going to talk to them this weekend. As far as like qualifying processes with the Desert Classic and Legends and everything else. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool to connect and talk to some of the masters and see how we can turn a page and just move forward and play the sport. Cause like even with like the changes and people saying they don't want to do the open and all this other nonsense. There's a lot more people saying, well, like, what's the point? Let's just move forward, be positive, and do the open.
Do you think that's happening a lot on the Masters
Oh,
level,
no,
though?
not at all.
Yeah.
I talked to a Masters the other day. We were having a consult, and they were laughing like, oh, now everyone gets to do what we've done for the last like 7 years. Like, wow, you big babies.
Yeah, exactly.
It was funny. I was like, okay, yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. Yeah, but I mean, you think about that, like that large population of people and age groups have done open and then age group qualifier and then the games since what, 2015?
Yeah, that's been their system for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the only argument though is that the pool is so much smaller, even in the more populated.
Oh, it's not. 60% of open participants are.
No, I mean within each individual age group.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like 35, 39. It's a densely populated one of the age groups. And yes, if you account for 35 through 64 or 70 or whatever, like, yes, that is a huge amount of people. That is definitely the majority. But
yeah, I'm just saying the majority of participants in the open have had a system that has been always online to get to the games. That's all. Correct. Broadly, right? But yeah,
broadly, yes.
Individual age group, you could go down and like, just really micro it down. But yeah, so I mean, regardless, there's going to be a ton of comps to do and stuff, and that's why I want to see what this one's like, and especially because I know there are a lot of people who didn't go because they went to the games and it was run by Legends, and then also there are people who didn't make it to the games that I've seen on the leaderboard that were like just outside who are competing. So it'd be cool to see those athletes there and see what's what. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun, but
I'm excited to see each division's top end potential with how full they are. It seems like Masters Fitness Collective or Championship thing that just happened a few months ago, I feel like it was very underrepresented and a lot of people didn't show up. And so that was sort of a shame to see. It was really close to the game. So like a lot of people were probably just tired and burnt out and needed their break and their off season. But it seems like every division here had a really big participation, at least in the qualifying process. And it seemed like, to your point, people who were bubble games athletes are coming out. So it'll be good to see.
Invited the games athletes, like Brian got an invite. And so he's going out to compete, mainly because we worked on a lot of things. And for him, like there were the 2 guys that got busted for performance enhancing drugs in his division. So for him, it's like, okay, let's use this as a stepping stone to see, because ultimately he wants to stand on the podium, if not win his age group, which is cool. And so we'll use this as just like a check-in point, because we've been doing a lot of work in his gymnastics. Unfortunately, they changed it, so there's not going to be like as much gymnastics.
Yeah,
so we won't have a huge opportunity, because like there was supposed to be like ring muscle ups and some other stuff in certain spots, and then they had to take it out because of equipment that they didn't acquire yet, which is fine, like whatever. But it'll still be fun to see where he ends up, and hopefully we can win.
Yeah, because where did he place it? The games 5th after those guys got popped. He was 7th, and then those 2 guys got popped, right?
Yeah, I believe 5th. They don't really like reshuffle.
Oh, really?
But yeah, you can call it 5th. Those guys get cut out, whatever. I think he actually might have been. Someone needs to run the numbers. I messaged Tyler Watkins to run the numbers, because I think he might have actually been 3rd, based on like you take those scores out of those 2 people and then rerun it. And yeah, he would. I think Tyler needs to run the numbers of the whole group, like as if those people were never there, never showed up. And I'm willing to bet, because of the points and the way the point system works, he was probably 3rd place.
Ugh.
We'll see. I don't know. Tyler's got to run those numbers. He hasn't done. And they don't care. They don't care about the Masters, so they're not gonna get to it.
Right.
But yes, he is 5th on the game site.
Yeah.
So, all right. The workouts themselves. Let's just go through them real quick, just so people know. I know, but it's good. Let's see, which one's it under? There it is. All right, workout number 1. I'm going to miss this one coming in. 3-minute time cap. We're going to go 20 handstand push-ups, 15 hang snatches, row max cows in the remaining time.
You want to just talk about one at a time, or are we just going to roll through the whole thing?
We'll just talk about this one. I mean, it's one time through You just fucking send it.
Well, yeah, it's 3 minutes.
And like, I mean, I don't know. It's fine. I get it. You're going to test people's proficiency at handstand push-ups and really who can go unbroken. 115.75 is not heavy enough not to do that unbroken as well at this level. And it's just who can row. But the problem with that is like the row, I would have much rather had it been something like burpee over bar, or because the rowers are so fixed. You know, you get, if let's say all one heat, 5 of the guys get on the rower at the same time and they all row a 138 for the remainder of the time, they're all going to get the same score.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. And it can become a thing where it's like, oh, I didn't get into the straps fast enough, or I fell off the back of the seat, which could happen. Don't let that happen to you. But yeah, I mean,
what if you just kept the same movements and you were to go like 25 cal row, 20 handstand push-ups, AMRAP, hang snatch remaining time, advance the bar every 5 to 10 reps, something like that. Then you have a progression down the floor. I know the soccer rink is really small at that venue after seeing it in Desert City Classic. So the advancement they would have to do like every 10, or it'd be like just like a 1 step forward mini box. But with this, there's no storyline to the race. It's really hard to tell like who's winning, who's losing.
Yeah, you're gonna go time, and everyone's gonna fall off their
on the ground, and it's gonna be like, cool,
awesome guys, good job. Yeah, you could tell the story a little bit better by switching those. Also, like it is like running a 400 meter. It's just okay. We already, as long as you show up, you know, like Sha'Carri Richardson running the 100. It's like she's probably gonna win or get second. So I get out there and just do it, which there's a value of sport to be had in that. But I think like in a large pool of people, you could have maybe did a couple more rounds or something, or like what Harley's saying, movements so you could tell a story a little bit better.
Yeah, or you just make it for time, like you go 25 cal row, 20 handstand push-ups, and 15 hang snatch, and maybe a tiny bit heavier weight, but you know, just make it for time, and then there's some separation of seconds, right? Playing the game of every second counts. Okay. And again, with advancement, like if it was 15 hang snatches to end, you could advance every 5, and you still see a storyline play out.
Yeah, and that would be a bigger test of the handstand push-ups if you go, like you said, 25 cal row, 20 handstand push-ups, 15 hang snatches. That would be dope. I like that. We can still do. Could you do it in 3 minutes? Yeah, you probably could. You could do like a 4-minute time cap. And like,
yeah, I mean, whatever it is. Even if you didn't want to go 25, you could go 20, 15, well, 10, you know, like whatever it is, like to make it fit the 3-minute time domain, if that's truly all your schedule could allocate, you know?
Yeah, I guess I was pointing out like the handstand push-up capacity, like coming off the rower, most of these guys and gals can just hammer out 20 unbroken. So you'll still have that speed of like bam on the rower, get the handstand push-ups, kick up, boom, 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 run out to the bar, and you're still having a race. And then the people who aren't proficient handstand,
I think people would row way faster that way too.
Yeah,
like potentially because they're fresh on the rower and it's exciting. It's the first event of the weekend. It's like, all right, let's rip the Band-Aid off and go for it.
I like it. All right. Workout number 2, my favorite. My favorite. 8 minutes, swim, max meters. I love it. You know what? This is what I love. I'll tell you the backstory. So my athlete, Lauren Cullen, and I were talking about the difference between like meters and yards. And I was like, it does not matter. She's like, well, you know, meters is further than yards. And I was like, because yard pools versus like a meter pool, depending on which pool you have access to, XYZ. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Like when you're swimming under like 1,000 meters, it really doesn't matter. Like it's not that much different. And I was like, and also there's no way they're having you swim 1,000 meters. Cause then we're going over like the 1,600 meters swim times for Olympic athletes. And I was like, none of you are swimming that fast. Like there's no way. And I was like, the most they're going to have somebody do is like a 500. And that's around like 8 minutes is what I was like telling her, give or take, like for average people or moderately good swimmers. I'm not talking about the people that have a history of collegiate swimming Division I. It's like, obviously those people are gonna get in the pool and F you up, which is fine. But everybody else is, I would say like 500, 600 meters in that 8 minutes. And it's cool that they did that. But what's funny about my argument with her, I was like, I guarantee you guys are gonna be in the water for about 8 minutes. And then the workouts in 8 minute AMRAP. I was like, yes, gotcha. Who's the coach? I felt vindicated.
Good guess. No, it's an educated guess based on time domains of what events like this can allocate. You have so many people rolling through. You can't have a 20-minute swim workout,
Yeah.
or
I like the tiebreak
anything close.
also. At the
I didn't read the tiebreak. What is it?
Time to complete the first 150 meters.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Little incentive.
I actually like that. So I was having a conversation with Lowell last night, my athlete that's
I bet
going
somebody
out there.
was listening to us though about the swim from desert. I got a feeling somebody heard us about the row bench press swim.
Yeah.
When I was like, they should have just swam, just straight up swim. Here we are. Jason heard me. That's what happened. That's what I want to think anyways.
Your ego wants to think that.
Exactly.
Right.
I was talking with Lowell last night and he was like, yeah, like based on what I've been doing in training for swimming, he's like, I've been doing like 50s with like a 10-second to 15-second break. And so I think I'm just going to start off by doing that. But I think I'm going to, take a 20-second to 30-second break at the start. And I'm like, I think you should swim until you can't and then fall into that rhythm. Like swim until it feels really hard. And if that's 150 meters, great. And so seeing the tie break now, circling back to that, it's like, I was like, swim 150 and then assess where you're at and fall into a rhythm of like, do your 50, take a 5-second count in your head. And if you're not ready yet, take an extra breath and then go, but like keep yourself present. Because for people who aren't swimmers, you just have to like manage it, right? You just have to keep yourself moving with as little downtime as possible.
Yeah. And they said at the brief, you can even hold on to the lane dividers and stuff and everything else. And like parts of that pool, depending on what lane you're in, you can almost touch the bottom too.
Yeah.
So like it's good. I'm glad they're doing just the swim. I like the single modality tests like that. Similarly, like Dubai, I know there was a lot of, if anybody watched it this last weekend, there was a lot of hate on the fact that the first couple of days they did single modalities. I kind of like that. I think in the space that we're in now with CrossFit, there's value of testing the ends of what we can do and those specialties, because that'll drive out the same thing with like the 1RMs. Like we've done 1RMs for so long and what did it do? It drove out people's ability to express strength with a barbell. So now that people are doing single modalities with swimming or running, or gymnastics things, or the FTP test, like a Dubai, or the also obstacle course. I know it's not single modality because there's different obstacles, but most of that stuff's like pulling and swinging. So you're testing those characteristics that is going to force people into greater adaptations towards, those ends of those things, which I really like. Because at the end of the day, it'll create better fitness for people. So it's cool.
Yeah. And within the scope of like CrossFit, history repeats itself all the time. Like we've been doing obstacle courses at the highest level of sport for a long time. And
Granite Games.
Yeah.
And then Granite Games, right? Like Granite Games is phenomenal. And like, it was a really, really unique and fun test. And yeah, it's been around. And then, at the CrossFit Games, for the individuals, they did a variety of obstacle courses over the years. Rogue has done an obstacle course before, I think, as well.
Yeah, 2012, they went to Camp Pendleton, did the obstacle course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like since the start of it all, there's always been something that is just true, like get from point A to point B, figure out the stuff in between, So
it's good.
It's cool.
Circling back real quick on the first workout, no real strategy, right? We're in agreement to that. You need to be able.
Yeah.
It's 3 minutes. You just got to go.
The handstand.
I mean, Marissa even commented too, like arguing that the top end speed of handstand push up and snatch are all going to be the same or is fixed.
Yeah.
So I feel like you just have to send that.
Don't fumble.
The higher up the age groups you go, the more strategy will come into play just because of the handstand. And that's about it. And maybe movement quality on the snatch. But within those middle range age groups, 35 to 50, even 54, like people are going fast.
Don't get a no rep.
Yeah, don't get a no rep and they're going fast.
If you get a no rep, keep going.
You're correct.
Don't stumble. Just go.
Do 21. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Cool. All right. Swimming. I think that was a good strategy with your athlete. Like if you're a bad swimmer, swim the first 150, then fall into like that rest interval of like 25s or 50 meters, whatever you got. If you're a good swimmer, jump in the water, get in your pace and just swim. Cause it is what it is. Like you're either a good swimmer or you're a bad swimmer.
And really the top 5 or top 3 are probably just going to be people who swim smooth and steady the whole 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the people who win are probably the ex swimmers, but like the top, 2 through 5 are just the people who don't stop.
Yep.
And then everyone else is like who managed their rest the best.
Yeah. All right. Workout 3 rounds for time. Wall balls, 30, 20, or 25, 20, excuse me. Burpee box jump overs, 10, 10, 10 every time. And then heavy, or how's that written? Heavy drag. Yeah. 50, 50, 50. So they have a heavy drag rope that they just brought out that's 3/4 of a pound. It's kind of cool. I'm going to buy one. I'm not super stoked. I mean, it's kind of cool. That's like the blue teal. I don't know.
I didn't realize it was a heavier drag rope.
Yeah, it's a heavier drag rope. I'm going to buy one when we're out there just to have and play with.
What's the brand?
It's RX Smart Gear. Yeah, they just released it. So it's a heavier drag rope. They got to do the single unders and then the crossovers, which those two shouldn't be an issue. I can do double unders with the drag rope. It's hard. After doing, 75 wall balls, it's going to be real hard. So it's and burpee box jump overs. So shoulders. So shoulders.
Don't sleep on the press of the burpee coming off the wall balls. Like that's going to add up way more than people realize.
Yeah. I think the strategy there is like, okay, if you're good, because 30 and 20 for all the younger age groups, and then actually all of them except till you get to 55. So 30-pound wall ball, 20-pound wall ball. So it's a heavier wall ball. Everything is shoulder intensity. What you can't do is go slow on the burpee box jump overs. Like you could break the wall balls and the jump rope stuff and not lose a lot of time. I mean, unless you're hunched over in the wall balls, then you'll lose a lot of time. But like you literally cannot move slow on the burpee box jump overs because those will suck your time away. Like people don't realize you could go easily from a 4-second a rep to like an 8-second a rep. Really not without even thinking. Like it'd just be like, boom, there's your time. Whereas like if you have a good strategy of like 15, 15 in the wall ball and you watch your rest or you're counting your rest of like 10 seconds versus like you moving too slow in the burpee box jump over because you're like, oh, I'm just going to try and like pace and not blow up and blah, blah, blah. You're going to lose a lot of time in those 30 burpee box.
I mean, I think you could even go 12, 10, 8 for the 30.
Oh yeah.
Like you could, I mean, you can even, my point is you could take an extra break on top of what you just said. I think that it's truly going to come down to who manages the heavier rope, the unknown aspect of it at the heavy crossovers and double unders.
Yeah.
Because I think that 50 is enough that like, I think people are going to get stuck. Like not to the point of complete failure, but they're just going to trip every other rep. So that said, don't be afraid of going like single double if that just keeps you chipping away at the double unders themselves, because your legs are gonna be tired from the wall balls. You're already been jumping 30 times over a box and you've already done 100 other bounding reps before you even get there. Yeah, your quads and ankles are going to be far more fatigued than I think you realize, on top of course, shoulders and heart rate, etc. But like, I think that your bounding mechanics are going to be far more fatigued, and people who try to do 5s, they'll probably trip it on rep 2 or 3 the whole time, and then like just waste a ton of mental energy around that and stress. So,
yeah, if you expect to trip and you're like, hey, I'm going to jump higher than I need to on the first couple of reps of the double unders before you try to settle in. Because I think like you're saying, people will run up to that rope and their bounding mechanic is just fatigued just enough that like they're now not jumping 1/4 of an inch as high as they need, and they trip. And then, like you said, it mentally gets in their head. So like Harley's saying, being aware that you're probably going to trip and being ready for that, and then jumping a little higher than you expect on the first 1 to 4 reps, I think you'll get away. You'll be in a smooth position.
And if it starts to go away, again, single double, like anything that's going to keep you accumulating reps.
Of that, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm saying without accruing mental fatigue.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm just like, whenever we were practicing crossover double unders, right? Like before I could link them and bound continuously with crossover double unders. I could do single crossover double under for like 30 in a row.
Well, that's crossover singles, so it's not.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about my own learning curve. And so like that strategy, I would have much rather gone single double, even whenever I was learning that new skill. I'm just comparing new implements and new skills. If you're learning something new or it feels different than you're used to, it's not worth getting stuck and frustrated over trying to force sets rather than just accumulating one at a time. If you're completely redlined and you're trying to finish it out.
Yeah. And if that does happen to you, you got to go to the wall ball and like rip on the wall ball. And you keep in your mind, like, okay, I just spent all this time on those jump ropes. Like I gotta pick some up here, even if it hurts.
By the double unders, it's over, right? That's the end of the workout.
Yeah. I was talking about double unders.
Yeah. I'm just saying, even if you get hung up anywhere in that spot.
Yeah, true.
Obviously, yes, at the end, like you're saying, sure. Like, let's say you start getting hung up on the drag rope crossovers. Like, and I don't think people will, but if they do, same thing. It's like run back to that wall ball, because you've seen, like, back to what you're saying about mental frustration and everything else. You've seen people just be like, and then they like walk back to their wall ball frustrated. And it's like, no, run, just start the work. Like, so that's a good piece. Don't get frustrated, stay in it and like make up where you can if you start getting stuck or tripping up. Because anything can happen. You could be in the warm-up area with this jump rope, just crushing it, and then get out there and like first one, oops. And then you're like, what happened? I was so good in the warm-up.
Classic.
Yeah, that happens. Let's see. Workout number 4 on Friday. The 5 deadlifts, 3 hang cleans, 1 shoulder overhead, 6 minutes to find a max weight of the complex. Really happy they're doing complexes. I really like the Desert Classic idea that they had as well. I think this is a great way to test strength within the game that we play. I just don't think, like, even at and this is a high level competition, but I'm going to say things that are like sub games level. I don't think we need to be testing 1RMs. There's just no reason. So I like this. I like this a lot. I would have liked it if it was 12.9.6 and you actually did like build the heavy DT. Like
what I wrote for Lowell was 5.43 before it came out. Like when it just came out and it was just deadlift, hang, clean, shoulder overhead, and they didn't give you any context. I was like, oh, dude, 5.43.
Yeah. I was hoping because those movement standards came out that way that they were going to actually make them do like DT. That'd have been sick.
Yeah, I would have just liked more because everyone moves kind of like dog duty at the higher age groups. So like from a technical standpoint, like they're more likely to be able to repeat, a moderate heavy load. Like the strongest person's still going to win. Like, but it's not forcing them to like truly max out, and I like, to your point, complexes in generally put a governor on people just a little bit.
I would have liked, the other reason why I would have liked the 12.9.6, like the actual DT, is like, because you're trying to go for max load. I just want to see the bar like fly out of people's hands
and the hanks
for just the laughs of like just watching, and we're like seeing people crumble like under the shoulder overhead. Just, hey, I like it. Okay, I don't want anyone.
There's gonna be some rando that doesn't hook grip and just flails.
There's always one.
As long as nobody gets hurt, I really enjoy the competition fail videos that come up online. I like die laughing. I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, last year at Legends, didn't they do a 1RM snatch and clean and jerk in the same thing?
Yeah, they gave them a ton of time though to do it. I don't like it.
Was it a ton of time? I feel like it was like 10 minutes.
It seemed like an eternity, in my opinion, watching it as a coach. I mean, for the person, like think of Nancy, like how many attempts she got at that snatch and the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
I felt like it went on forever.
But I just mean like maxing out those 2 lifts in like a 10-minute period just seems.
I think it was like 16. We'd have to look that up. It doesn't matter though. It felt like forever to me. I could be wrong. I just was like, this is too much.
Yeah.
And again, like I've stuck my flag in the ground. I don't like 1 rep maxes. I'm sorry.
All right. Strategy on this.
2 attempts. I want people to get better at this in general. I'm going to stick my flag in the ground again. I told Marissa this and she's like, you got to, I'm like, no. And she's right. The corral time is really long for athletes generally. And I get it. I get why. Last year, the corral time though, Heather, I feel like was pretty quick relative to most comps that we've been to, which is nice. But I want to see people warm up in the back, get really good at that. Just like Olympic weightlifting. Like you might go 2 to 4 minutes before you get to lift your lift again and you get 1 shot. So I would love to see, athletes just kind of adopt that mindset of like, look, I'm going to come out, I'm going to be well prepared, I'm ready to go. And let's hope that the corral is not long. If it is long, I get why you'd take more attempts, but I want to see someone come out, smack an opener that's pretty heavy, take a rest, load the bar, hit one more attempt, and then walk away and throw their hands up in the air like LeBron. Like, it'd be chill.
I think that also comes with a lot of confidence and knowing like what your numbers are and what you can actually hit. Cause I feel like I find
it does show a mature athlete.
Right.
I like
like
that.
There's a lot of athletes that's coming like, I don't know, I'm going to start at 105 and then 125 and then 135 and then 140. Cause they're just like, don't have confidence and like knowing.
Or the athletes that go 125, 130, 135, right. 140, well, 145. I'm just saying
like that just shows, like you said, a lot of maturity and like knowing what you can hit and just going out at that like 8 out of 10 effort. And then like, okay. And then hitting that number and then, okay, anything after that's gravy, right? Like I don't need to spend 3 times getting to that 80%.
Right.
Yeah. Desert City allowed people to, in the snatch event, walk out, hit a lightweight, and then like load up their bar. So like as they were loading, they were able and allowed to hit a snatch as they were setting up for their opener. So if it's similar to that, I think they may have the opportunity, right? And then lastly, last thought, I think that if you want 3 attempts, you could go 3-2-1 on your first attempt just to feel the movement patterns, or even like 2-2-2, whatever, at just something, just if you're truly iced from the corral time. And then you could take your second attempt at like 2:30-3 and then take a buzzer shot, pulling the bar at like 5:30-6, 5:59, right? Just because it says in there that you can pull, a buzzer shot, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the corral time does have a factor, but I was reading today because I read a lot of like old CSCS stuff, and I was like laughing of like the CP system and how to improve the creatine phosphate system. And it's like literally like a 12 to 20 times rest. Yeah. Like when you're doing stuff. So, like this complex, what's going to take you 20 seconds or less?
Sure.
So then around there. So then like multiply it by that. Like, you should have about 2 to 3 to like really recharge yourself and do it appropriately based on like physiology. So 2 to 3 attempts is probably all you're really going to get.
But that's what I'm saying.
Although mentally we're crazy people, so it works well. But go ahead, Heather.
But if you're not hitting like those higher lifts, then that's why people can do 5 or 6, because they're like doing 60% of their number and they're just wasting all this time. And then they're like, okay, I can go again in 30 seconds. And I'm like, well,
yeah. And you're like rushed too, to like, you're, I gotta put the clips on. I'm running out of time. And it's like, man, why do
like
that?
Adding to the chaos. Yeah.
It's a mental energy.
Yeah. Especially 6 minutes. But yeah, I do like this complex. It's going to go fast, 2 to 3 attempts. Try to warm up really well in the warm up.
Can we also note that it says no dirty loading? I've never heard that term before.
What? You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Dude, some John North shit. You just throw one plate on one side and make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's even like the smaller size plates must be on the outside.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which because you'll see people put like a 5 and then they'll put a 10 on top of the 5.
Is that truly what they're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Smaller plates must be on the outside. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
cool.
Masters are notorious for that, dude.
We're just like loading like shit.
Anna would always, she'd always ask if they could be dirty loading. She was like, but hey, if you're allowed to do it, you do it. Like Hannah Black, arguably dirty loaded her bar at semifinals with the snatch because she had the 5s on the inside.
5s on the inside.
Yeah. So that would be a no rep. Okay. Watch yourself, people. I see everything.
Dude. So what you should do is you should put a set of clips on the inside and then a set of clips on the outside. So you're dispersing the weight farther out.
Yeah.
Whip off the hang clean. You get that bounce, you know?
Yeah, there you go. You didn't say I couldn't put the clips on the inside. All right. Workout number 5. 9-minute AMRAP, 5 bar muscle ups, plus 10 foot handstand walk, 8 alternating single arm devil's press. I like the devil's press. The plus 5 or plus 10 feet, I assume as you go 10, and then the next round you come up, you got to go 20,
and
then 30. I didn't read the actual like brief of this. They didn't really go over it too well, but either way, sick. 9 minutes, it's chill. People are gonna get limited by their bar muscle up, clearly.
Sorry, I just read Marissa's comment. It says, "Bring your own 1 pound plate." Sounds like, could you imagine showing up to a comp, walking out on the floor and be like, "No, I added my ones," and you're like, and they don't offer like change plates. You're like, that's fine. I added my ones on there. I just beat everyone.
Yeah. I mean, they're small enough. You could bring them out there.
I'm
Everybody
saying,
in your
like, scoring wouldn't do it though.
Yeah, but everybody in the corral, well, you have to declare your weight, so you could just say.
I'm just saying, I doubt. I know that they like are small. You could probably just put them in your pocket.
I think
But
we
like,
should
I don't think your judge or scoring would allow you to do that.
I'm gonna bring them. I'm gonna push it. I like it. We're gonna try it out. Anyways, 9-minute AMRAP classic CrossFit. I like that they're adding the handstand walk. Let's say so 10-foot handstand walk. What bar muscle up? 5 bar muscle ups, 30, little under 30 seconds, depending on your cycle rate.
3 to 4 seconds a rep.
Yeah. So then 10 feet and then 20 and then 30 and then 40. So like a lot of it's just going to get eaten up by, because the first 3 rounds and be chill, but you're going to be 15 bar muscle ups pretty deep. The alternating single arm devil's press is not tough. It's just there to annoy you. You're going to hit your shoulders. Yeah, you're going to hit a wall in either the bar muscle up or the handstand walk, depending on what your limitation is. And even if you are proficient at both, those handstand walks are going to start to add up, because in 9 minutes, you could end up getting to like almost 250 feet.
If you're good at it, man, you could probably accumulate a lot real fast.
Yeah. Just don't want to put, what did she say? Chris says, just don't want to put your check bag to be 52 pounds. That's a good one. The 2 pounds over.
Put them in your pocket.
I'm not checking a bag, so there's that.
Well, I tried to carry.
Just walked up. Sound like loose change in your pockets. Ching, ching. I'm just going to score my points here.
We tried to carry on our my ruck from semis, and they said we had to check it. They're like, that giant piece of metal is a weapon. And I was like, no, it's not.
Well, it could be. I mean, you could hit it.
It could be, sure. 8 devil's press. How long is a devil's press rep in your mind?
3 seconds. Are we going chest? Are we going chest?
Slower than that.
To chest?
I think it's 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 seconds.
Chest to chest or chest to overhead? Because chest to overhead, I think is like 3 seconds.
I'm saying like getting the dumbbell back to the ground. Like, yeah, your first rep is sure 3 seconds, but like getting
what you're counting then.
Yeah, for sure. Like, what's the total time it's going to take someone? I think it's probably be like 45 seconds, 40 seconds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're looking at 9. So 3-4 rounds for people. Then if that's eating up their time.
Yeah, I think that the devil's press is not that hard of a movement, but I just think that it's going to add up. It's going to eat away time more than you think.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
So they're really only going to be handstand walking, not even 100 feet.
Unless you know that, like we're saying right now, because we just gave you the key, is like, okay, if you know that those devil's press are going to take that time and you literally like pull the dumbbell down and fall to the ground because it's one dumbbell and you don't have to like, there's not a lot to manage. Like with 2 dumbbells, there's a lot to manage on the devil's press, like bringing them down, especially to the ground. Like you bring that thing down, put it on the ground and drop your chest. You could speed it up knowing that that's going to be the time suck, and then slowing it down through the bar muscle up and handstand walk, but giving yourself an opportunity. That's a good strategy if you feel comfortable with the handstand walks and the bar muscle ups to like really push the pace on those devil's press. Because Harley did bring up a good point of like, that's going to suck your time away, no problem, just by the nature of the movement. That's good. I like that. All right. Hey, you heard it here first. This is funny though. Checking bags is for NARPs. CrossFit says. Not wrong. Depending on how many people are coming with you and what type of gear you're bringing. But, and then Marissa says, unless you have the Delta card and you get free check bags, which is also true.
Nah. Checking bags is a pain in the ass.
I like that little nugget, Harley, about the time to do the 8 devil's press. That's good. Speed it up.
You're so welcome.
It's good. Didn't think about it. It's a good strategy. Unless you start to blow up in the handstand walks and the bar muscle ups. Then it don't.
Yeah, for sure. In the early rounds, I think you could probably push that a little faster. And then, like you said, just slow down the gymnastics to keep the quality and the, high, because taking one extra breath before jumping up for bar muscle ups isn't going to hurt you. But going a second slower or 2 seconds slower per devil's press will.
Yeah, definitely. You are right. Love it. All right. My favorite workout. 4 reps. 10 sandbag squats on the shoulder, 100-foot sandbag carry on the shoulder, 150-meter run on the field, 4 rounds.
Easy.
It is easy.
Fucking
It's fast.
easy. It's fast.
You go ham-tarded. But I would have liked if it was like, because we know how terrible it is. What? Not supposed to say that?
I don't know.
I like that laugh.
In the comments, tell me if I'm allowed to say that or not. Anyways, if you say I'm not allowed to say it, I don't really care. It was not demeaning to anyone. I was just saying that you're gonna go hard,
dude. It's demeaning to the special need hams of the world.
Okay, well, I'm
dude,
sorry.
Have you ever met a pig with a disability?
Got sidetracked.
Oh, but they're probably fine though. Having a disability is not necessarily always a bad thing. All right, 4 rounds for time. I would have liked it though if it was like the distance, like you go 50 yards and back, so you go 100 yards instead of and like on the football field, because I know it's going to be on the little soccer field. Harley, you were just out there. It is like a soccer field format, right?
Yeah.
Well,
no. It's technically like there's a backstop for like a softball area. It's just a big open rec field. Like there's no format to it. It's just a big square lot.
Okay, never mind then. I was trying to remember from last year, but it would have been nice. Like I like things where this is my personal preference and like selfishly, where we can measure things like more sports specific. Like, the football player is going to run 50 yards. You can see how fast it takes them. And I like seeing CrossFitters do similar stuff so that I can like run those numbers against and see where their athleticism and fitness is at. So I would have liked it to be, because it's on a field, it would have been cool. I wonder if they say anything about like cleats or like turf shoes or anything. You're not allowed to.
Is it a turf field?
It's like a grass. It's like a grass field. So like if you had cleats,
great. If I was out there, I'd probably roll my ankle. So good thing it's not me.
Divots.
Yeah.
Run marked athletes finish line. No, I mean if you have cleats,
I mean they might pull that out though. Like someone showed up with cleats one time to a CrossFit event, and they were like, "No, you can't fucking wear those."
Well, you have your other shoes. It's good to try. Because that'll give you a huge advantage on the sandbag carry, and then just like the run itself, you just get a little bit more traction.
Yeah,
you can dig into the ground better. But
with 150 meters, I don't think it's going to make 4 times with the squats. I don't think it's going to be worth the trouble.
Listen, when we had the games camp,
dude,
I would have loved to have cleats on when we did that push. I'm telling you,
that was a 30-second event. This is a 12-minute cap. This is an 8-minute event. 2 minutes around. It's probably faster.
It took us 2 minutes. It took us 2 minutes and 30 seconds to do.
Dude, we were so fast though.
We were smoking everybody.
We were so fast.
Yeah. Cleats would have made us even faster.
Dude, we had to assert dominance over the old people.
Everybody was shocked at our times.
Dude, we were like, we're the coaches for a reason. We have to show up right now. We cannot back down.
To do that. I was like, nope.
Did you do anything else after that?
No. Absolutely not.
No.
2:30 and then you're like, I'm out.
Yeah. Showed them it can be done. It can be done.
All right. My only 2 cents about this workout, I think it's probably pretty fast. I think it's under 2 minutes around. If their 150 meters is true, I think that with the sandbag squats and the carry, if you can get the bag behind your neck like a true back squat, you can actually run with the sandbag pretty well. So like, it's not a slow, like the carry is not slow either. You need to look at that as like, I need to find a way to
run.
Yeah, you have to put that behind your neck like this. And
isn't that strange? Like when you see people like doing like farmers carries or like front rack carries or like sandbag carries, and they like
walking.
Like I walk on most of them.
Yeah, but like if you're doing a workout, you really walk. Like you just
it depends on the
try to run it.
Well, it depends on the loading.
Or like 100 or 200 meters at 70 and 100 pounds, or front rack carry at 53s, or farmers carries at 53s. You don't like try to run them, or you just like out there walking
If
along?
It's a farmer carry with 53s, I'd probably try to run. If it's a 70, I'm probably not.
I feel like with the 70 is more reason to run. Like less time under tension. Wouldn't you want to run?
I can't pick my feet up, dude. That's like body weight for me now.
Who's running with kettlebells in the front rack? Who's punching themselves in the chin every step?
I would. I don't care.
That's true. That'll happen.
I ain't trying to be out there. Like, I feel like people walk slower. Like, I see your normal walk into the gym is faster than when I say, hey, go ahead and carry this thing. Even though I know they could run. It's like, run, go, run.
I agree. I think that you need to walk faster, but if the loading is heavy enough or the position is not optimal, it forces you to walk.
That's something a baby would say.
That needs to happen in the briefing, because I feel like sometimes athletes just think that's inferred. Like the carry is you have to walk.
That's
what I told Lowell. I showed him how to get it behind his neck, and I was like, watch, if you get in this position, you can sort of hunch forward and you can actually jog. And I like threw it up there and jogged with it for a second. And then the next round of his practice runs, because I was having to do like 200 feet carries at a time, he was literally just like running back and forth down the gym with 100, and he's 60. I was like, dude, look at that fucking guy go. Yeah. Look at him go.
Well, 150 is going to be hard for the other age groups to
run.
For
sure.
But it's
for the women, more of a stability issue, I think, for the 150, because the bag is so large. It's like,
and you got to squat it on your shoulder, which is tough.
Yeah.
The 100 for the women, I think, is too light in this scenario. For the women's field, I know the women's field from 35 to 55 really well, and I feel like it's too light. I know some 55-year-old females are about to say, no, it needs to be 70. I know it could be 70, but I think we've gotten to a point now where the 100 for women needs to be like 125.
Yeah. Well, they did that in NCC when I did it 2 years ago. They had that 120 bag.
With that being said, though,
that was rough. That was tough.
Everyone needs to run that bag.
Yeah, try to. It's not long enough to like really bother you. The squats are gonna be tougher than the running.
Well, even a 100-foot walk, because I walk on my farmer carry, so I know. Yeah, that takes 30 seconds.
True. All right, workout 7. 4-minute AMRAP, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, toes to bar, and then 10 dumbbell box up overs. Grip City. 1 minute rest into more. Someone's fallen off the bar because this is done with a vest on.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to wear a vest. 4-minute AMRAP, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, chest to bars, and 40-foot double dumbbell walking lunges.
Vested for up to the 44 group. And the other groups aren't vested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Someone's going to die.
Someone's falling off the bar, dude. Jesus. I mean, it's 4 minutes. There's less chance of them falling off the bar. Less time window to fall off that bar. But yeah, Grip City. Hopefully. The cool thing is like chest to bar with a vest on. If you understand how to get like that angular momentum and the pendulum out of the vest, it's a little easier. Honestly,
it makes judging super easy. You just hear the
bing,
clang, clang,
as it like pulls away from your body.
Yeah, straps loose. No big deal.
Clanging.
What I'm worried about is someone going on the backswing of their toe to bar and just flying off that bar, dude.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sure everyone signs their waivers.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it, but yes, there is high chance someone is flying off that bar. I had Jen I forget what competition qualifier that was, but they had to do max pull-ups, and she flew off the bar. I still have the video.
Who?
Nice.
Jen Botcher. She flew right off the bar.
At least she committed.
She did.
Truly max effort.
Yeah, it was a max effort. It's pretty good. I'm gonna save that video forever. Whenever I'm feeling down, let me pull up Jen's video. I don't do that, but that would be funny. All right, 4-minute AMRAP. Yeah, it's just work, like your toes bar are going to give out, chest bar are going to give out, grip's going to give out. It's just like, and there's no way around it. I know people will be like, well, I'll break it up here. And like, yeah, break the pulling gymnastics up, but it doesn't matter. It's going to compound. So like, just kind of move slower.
It's almost like who can hold on for like physically hold for the 4 minutes and not explode.
Don't rest on the dumbbell box up overs. I would literally just try to do those as fast as possible and then rest into the gymnastics movement.
Yeah, I like the grip tests in this combination. Toe to bar and step overs is a really great combo. Vest aside, like ignore the vest part of it. J.R. Howell programmed that same combo the first year I did Crash, and it was like 7 minutes long. And by the end of that, like you're just like staring at the dumbbells because you're truly just like, I can't pick them up anymore. I think 4 minutes is going to be that sweet spot where people can just keep moving fast. And then in that second portion is where things are going to get a little bit spicy in the bicep region, going from chest to bar to, was it front rack walking lunges? Or no, it's just dumbbell.
Just
yeah, those are falling out of people's hands. If they don't fall off the bar, they're going to be dropping dumbbells. But it's a good sweet spot time domain that's going to allow people to keep moving.
It's front rack walking lunges.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that time under tension in that deep flex position with the dumbbells, I think is going to feel a little bit more uncomfortable than people would like to think. But
especially in the pull-ups with the bicep.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that 4 minutes on, 1 minute off is a good sweet spot where you're going to be able to keep moving pretty fast. Like even with that fatigue accruing, like it's going to be just right. If it was longer, I think people would come to a halt.
Yeah. And like you get to the round of 14, let's say, which would be, let's see, if you're moving at a rate of travel like 12 a minute and you got 30 there. So yeah, you're going to be like 14 or greater. It's really not a whole lot of volume. It's like 45 reps, of just both. Like when you think about it.
Okay.
Just saying like, like an easy rate of travel of 14 reps a minute for like the toes to bar and then the 10 box step over. So you're actually moving at like 24 reps a minute. You're getting up to the 14 round of 12 to 14. So it's really not a whole lot of volume because the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is 30 reps plus 12, you're at 42. And then you're into, so the volume's not too big. Even if you finish the round of 14, it's really not a whole lot of volume
in the toe to bar. But I think that to your point, like if you're getting that far, so we're talking 5 rounds deep, you're already 50 step overs in. So even just doing like 50 step overs in 4 minutes is a chunk. Like we start talking about time suck movements. It's like, the 2 toes to bar, the 2 through 8 toes to bar real quick. Like, just do those unbroken. But like the 10 step overs, we're looking at 3 to 4 seconds a rep. They're talking about 40 seconds per set, like 30 seconds per set. It's just that's your time. It's a step over workout, more so than anything.
Are these 2 separate scores or is it one
score?
Okay.
That's where like you could, because they're easier reps, you could play the game where like you don't blow yourself out, but you do try to maximize the first portion and then see if you can recover, shake it out and steady move through the next. Because even
how are the lunges scored?
That's a good question.
Probably every 10 feet, maybe.
I don't know. That might be something on site. The rep is credited when both feet clearly beyond the line. Doesn't say.
Because understanding how the lunge is scored will dictate like what's the rep worth. So you said something like, "Oh, the second part's easier," or sorry, the first part's easier reps. And it's like
get more reps.
Maybe it is, but chest to bar goes by real quick, a little faster than a toe to bar. I'm saying so. Like we're talking about value of just rep per second, rep per time. But a step over is for sure 3 to 4 seconds a rep, even if you're steadily cruising through them. And it's like, if it's a 5 foot, increment on a lunge, it's like, that's a lunge and a half. Like you could probably actually get through the lunges faster than step overs.
Or even if it would still even be a thing where like, if it was 10 feet a lunge, you'd still want to shift towards doing the toe to bar step over.
Oh, for sure. If it was 10 feet a lunge, I think you would want to prioritize the first half.
I don't even think they're thinking about that. They're going to be like, one rep is 40 feet. You're going to be like, oh, no brainer. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Then you have to sprint the first part. Like depending on the increments of the lunges, the longer that increment gets, the more pressure you get put on in the first half.
Yeah. Per rep.
Correct.
Maybe they want it that way. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to like how this plays out.
Because it's hard to really like say exactly where you need to attack, but that's to your point, Todd. To my point, I think the second half has the potential.
It says 40-foot double dumbbell walking lunges.
Yeah.
So
I would assume that's the rep.
Right.
If that's the rep, that's shitty. Like that's just changes. There's no point in going fast.
Right. It doesn't say. So that's gonna be something that they're gonna have to brief it on. Like
athletes will continue. Okay, sorry. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I've like scrolled through. There's no specific piece. So yeah, that would be in the brief. And like That's fine. But to Tyler's point, the way the workout is written, it would be 40 feet would be 1 rep unless otherwise designated, and they haven't. So we're where we are.
I don't know. I don't think that's true because I think that in the open they've done 25-foot walking lunges.
Yeah.
Huh?
But they designate it. They say every 5 feet is 1 rep.
Yeah, but not in the workout description.
I think historically how they've done it, they've told you like how big the field's going to be, how the length of the field. Like they feel like they did that last year with they had lunging also, and they talked about. I
assume it'll be 20 foot out, 20 foot back.
Yeah, so it'll probably get scored by, I would assume, probably like 10 feet or even 5 feet. But
we'll see.
With how short the time domain is, I think it would be very silly if they did anything longer than 5 feet because of the weight of the reps.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Mona texted me. Maybe they said, "Oh no, she didn't." I thought because she was at check-in. I was hoping she's listening to our live and then text me, "What's going on here?" Yeah,
in the scoop.
Yeah, in the know. All right, well, that's Legends. Pretty good workouts. Fair amount of CrossFit. It's pretty crazy. Like when you think about like how would you? Man, I don't even know. Let's not go down this rabbit hole about how you would train somebody to get them going. Because like you look at that and you could eat like firsthand. I'm like, oh man, because sometimes I see stuff like that. I'm like, oh, they could just do class workouts and get pretty fit. But that would just be like the cream rises to the top situation. The bigger question would be like, how do you take somebody who's not this genetic freak or ex D1 athlete or what have you and get them to compete at a high level, which is our specialty. Give me the misfits, man. I want them. All right, well, we're going to talk about strength methods. Legends took a lot longer than I thought it would, but that was a good conversation, and it's the comp that's coming up. There are other qualifiers coming up here, though, just as a heads up, because I was thinking about it. Monster Games, Adirondack, if you're on the East Coast. Keep a heads up on Metcon Rush. I'm sure they're going to be announcing. And that one's sign up, show up, right, Harley? You did that last year? Yeah. And then,
you have to submit, if you want to do it and do the elite divisions, you have to submit a form, and he basically just like gives you the thumbs up or thumbs down.
When is that competition?
July.
Yeah.
Most of these are going to happen in the middle of summer, but you got to qualify now.
Yeah.
If you want a West Coast based one that does not require a qualifier, Golden State Games, that's been around for like 8 years, 10 years. It's a partner competition, same sex pairs. And there's a little cash prize in there. There's almost always semifinal level or bubble semifinal people in there. So it's a good one. 1 day event in Stockton.
I'm thinking next year coming up, we want to come out there and just like wreck house on the turkey challenge.
Dude, turkey challenge is talking about partnering with Wadapalooza.
Oh, sick.
They're taking away the qualifier until they can outfit and fill every division. And they're the people who are running it now are putting a lot of effort into making it a better event. They're going to rebrand it. Apparently it's not going to be Turkey Challenge. So they're not going to be pigeonholed into the Thanksgiving timeline. So they're doing a lot of stuff of pivoting. In their mind, this was the last Turkey Challenge year. And they're doing it basically, they're just pivoting the ownership to a new, better, high quality event, which is awesome. I think the guy who's running it seems like he wants to grow and do it better.
Great.
Where is that at?
Colorado.
Denver.
Oh, okay. I don't know about it.
Ooh.
It used to be a big deal.
What competition?
No, I literally don't even know what that is. I've never heard of it.
But that's good. Using your fitness, training, getting out, competing, having some reason to push yourself in the gym other than just being a badass, which is why I like to push myself in the gym.
Be a weekend warrior.
Yep. Get out, hit some comps. It'd be good. We're gonna help you with that. It's coming, like the season is coming up. I think if anybody, you guys are training right now, and all my athletes have seen a big shift. Like we're doing more CrossFit, more high aerobic, high intensity aerobic power output work, more complexes in lifting, getting away from like absolute strength development and just getting into the game and the sport. And because of the shift and everything, like you do a qualifier, it's going to be integrated into your regular training. It might be the thing that you're going to do for that day. And that's it. And maybe some accessory work and move on, because I want you to focus on that and like drive the value of intensity and then try to qualify so you can get to an in-person competition and use your fitness more often. something now because everything's changed the way it is and there's less in-person opportunities at the higher level because of like semifinals. Just doing the good old Nick Bear style, finding a block, getting a big training block in and attacking something that you've put on the calendar, and then put something else on the calendar, hit a big training block and attack it. So it'd be good.
And have fun. Like go out and do shit. Use your fitness to Todd's point, and like there's no reason to spend hours and hours and hours in the gym without like building some value that takes you places outside in real life. So like spending time with others, sharing, life experiences, going on some trips, adventuring, challenging yourself in a specific event. Usually these types of CrossFit events or fitness-based events do so much more for people than the event themselves. So it's going to add value in many other ways. So choose something, challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And go
and
for
it. Additionally, just like to promote like the CrossFit thing a little bit, but then also like if you have a huge deficiency in your fitness though, like you might want to spend a lot of time in the gym and fix that hole before you start playing with it a little bit. Like if you have
for sure,
but still use it. But the other thing is like I was watching Hunter McIntyre do the High Rocks event and they showed him go through it and everything. And like one of the big notable things, and he talked about it, and we feel the same way, and you hear it in CrossFit. Yeah, you create a lot of friends and relationships, and like going to these events, you reconnect with people, that you haven't seen for a while, that you're competing against, and they become your friends. And those people are the tip of the spear, the like-minded individuals. So like when you go to these events, to Harley's point, start talking to these people, even if it's like I don't want to say lower tier, but let's just go like level system CrossFit. Like you're like a 6, an 8, a 9, or you're an elite athlete going to the games. The group of people that you're with, like in Hunter's case, he's friends with all the high level High Rocks people, but they're going to be people who go to High Rocks and try to get good at this thing. And they're going to be running an hour 15, to do the High Rocks. There's going to be people in the RX categories at CrossFit competitions or the intermediate or the elite that you're in, and like getting to know those people, your competitors. I know that your competitors when on the floor, but when you're not on the floor, like the best thing you do is become friends with them, create relationships.
They're your peers.
Yeah. And it's
not just competitors. They're your friends. They're your peers. They're your like-minded individuals. Yeah.
And exploring that more, like a lot of my really good friendships come from old school CrossFit days of like the message board from Bergeron, CompTrain, and competing, and then like coaching. A lot of my stuff now is from like coaching high level athletes and getting the opportunity to meet people and explore life that way. So like really push yourself in those categories to get more life experiences. And like to Harley's point, like less time in the gym, obviously spend the time you need to get yourself to those events. Cause like someone like Hunter McIntyre is not training. He's training his ass off to be at that level, and whatever level you want to be at, you need to train to that level and then make some real quality friendships. Cause I know a lot of athletes will go to these events and never make any friends, or they'll stay with the friends that they have and not make new friends. And they should be making new friends because they're people that you can text, talk to, continue doing fitness life together, and it's motivating and inspiring. So like do it. Just do it. Do it. What's his name? Shia LaBeouf. Do it. Anyways, maybe we'll talk about strength methods next time.
Maybe.
Legends took it all up.
All right.
I'm going to delete it off here. I'm going to change the name.
Love you. Gotta go.
Okay. See you later. Have fun coaching.
Love you. Bye.
Masters, Legends. Is it championship?
Yes.
You guys got anything to add?
No, I like the friends thing. That was
Tyler
good.
was ready. Tyler was ready to talk about strength.
I was, man.
That's all right.
I think like what Harley was getting at was that like people get so obsessed with like being in the gym and training, and like that's like their whole world. They don't actually like go out and live their life.
I mean,
it's like, what are you training for though?
I'm on the fence about that. Cause like your life could be in the gym. Let's like be clear about that. Right. Cause like, think about this, people who go out and live their life. And I probably shouldn't even put air quotes, because there's nothing wrong with people who like go out and live their life and go to the mimosa brunch on Sundays and go to the parties and go to the social. They're a socialite. Like that would be the classification. They go to all the parties, they get invited to all the things. Maybe they, put on the parties and have people. they're building community. It's totally fine that they do that. Conversely, if you love to be in the gym and you want to spend 20 hours in the gym and you're not abusing exercise, like you're hanging out, you do some training, maybe you hang out a little bit longer, you go, you come back, you socialize with people, talk with people, maybe help. I'm explaining like coaches who work at gyms, but even still, if like you love being in the gym and you're like, hey, I want to, like Sophia comes in, she loves being in the gym. Hey, Todd, what can I help you like clean up in the gym today? Because she just wants to be here more. She wants to be around these people. And whether that's the 9 a.m. class that comes in and sees her doing some of the training in the morning, and then it's like in the afternoon class that comes in and she makes friends with those people. There's nothing wrong with like being in the gym, spending all that time in the gym. So I don't want to like also like say, hey, like get out of the gym, live your life, man. Like there's more to the gym or more to life than the iron. Like there doesn't have to be, just don't be crazy about it. Right. Like if you're in there and you're training 10 hours a day, just running yourself into the ground, creating hormonal dysfunction and like being so stressed out about trying to get better and like all these things. And you're walking around like a robot trying to check boxes and you never fucking talk to anybody and you have your headphones in. Yes, you have a problem and you need to do what Harley said. But I also don't want to demonize like being in the gym. I think there are a lot of people. I love being in the gym. I love it. Like, and I told Heather today, I was like, oh, even like talking about like organizing the gym and being in the gym. Even if I didn't own the gym and I worked for somebody else's gym, I'd be the same way. I'd be in the gym. I'd be moving things around, trying to keep things clean and tidy, having a good time. Like, and same thing with my wife. We love the gym. So there's nothing wrong with that. We've met a lot of great people. Heather, you and I are really great friends because of the gym. So like, I don't want to downplay that. Like just the main point is like, yes, be a human being and live life, make relationships, build on those relationships and like push yourself in something. It can be in the gym. It can be outside the gym. Don't say no to opportunities though. Like to Harley's point, if someone's like, hey, you want to come, swim with me this weekend or like go out and wakeboard or kayaking, like don't say no because you're like, oh, I got to do this training session. Like unless like you, like I said, like the Nick Bear thing or the Hunter McIntyre thing, like you're trying to push yourself to get to the next level or be in that level that you're in and you really want to qualify for something and you have a very specific goal. Yeah. Don't hurt your goal and go do the kayaking or wakeboarding or whatever, because you have this very specific goal that you're trying to get. Just be like, hey, I'm really for this next, 6 months, I'm really trying to get to this thing. And like, I can't, like, I need, like, it requires me to do this training to get better so I can achieve the goal that I have. So like, don't compromise that because of what Harley's saying also, because that would be the same thing as like, hey man, you want to go out and spend like $400 on a weekend or like even more than that. Let's go out to Vegas and you drop like $5,000 and you're trying to buy a house. Like someone would frown on that. Like, oh, your friends got you to just waste your money, but you're trying to buy a house. Conversely, it's the same analogy. That person just pulled you away from training, but you're trying to, go to a High Rocks and like qualify in the elite division, or you're trying to qualify for Boston for the Boston Marathon, or you want to compete in one of these Masters events or, individual events, and you're letting people pull you away from that goal. That's also a bad thing because that's your life, so it's like, it goes both ways. You got to balance it and evaluate what's important to you. But like, Marissa's saying, she's probably agreeing with me. I don't think it has to be literally in the gym, but the point of being that your fitness hobby to be your social circle, then that's totally fine. Right. Yeah. So it's just, maybe we should just stop saying like in the gym or like get outside the gym and use your fitness. Like, because you don't have to. If you have a problem with figuring out like your life and community and building relationships and chasing goals, the gym is creating the issue that you're not doing those things. And you're, like I said, that person with the headphones on, then we have to have that conversation. Just the same way you have to have the conversation with somebody who's like, I want to get to Masters Fitness Collective or Masters Legends, or I want to go to Metcon Rush, or I'm tired of being last place at this event, whatever it is, or I want to qualify for Boston Marathon. The real conversation is, well, we got to hit a huge training block. We got to fucking train.
Yeah.
So you got to say no to those other things because you got to train. So like there's a balance. I don't even think there's a balance there. There's just identifying like, this is the goal. This is what I'm doing, and along the way you can build relationships. Cause I can tell you right now, Hunter McIntyre, I watch his YouTube and he seems like a really happy dude. There might be some stuff going on the surface, but he loves training. He loves hanging out with his fit friends. Same thing with Nick Bear. He goes out on the track days. Like loves it. And I love training here. I mean, I rode the Echo bike behind you today, Heather, while you did your session because I had no more to do. And I was just riding along, watching you guys do it, trying to motivate you, have a good time, and be like in community in that.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to show the dichotomy of it because I think sometimes we can go too far. Like, get out of the gym.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think you need to. You can. It might be you. Evaluate it is my point. Also, I don't want to get ridiculed for always being in the gym too, selfishly, because I love it. I love the gym. It's fun. It's a fun place to be. The gymnasium. Google.
It is a fun place.
Google the definition of gymnasium next time you got a free moment. It's really fun. That's about it. I'm going to also give props to my wife and my daughter, my daughter can now float, swim. 10 months old. Hey.
She's crushing it.
Yeah, Heather was like earlier, she's like, how is Ruth just so good? I was like, yeah, I'm surprised too, because she's got like half of me, because I'm like, okay. But it's because it's the combination of myself and Marissa.
I didn't say how she's so good. I said how she's so cute, but yes, that too.
Why'd she say that's a reach in the terminology? What are you talking about? I don't know. Maybe she'll comment. But yeah, swimming.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Float. It's pretty good. Pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
She technically rolled over. Oh, I see. See, not giving her an inch, not even giving her versus saying that she technically rolled over to float. She's saying swim, float, swim is the next skill. Okay, sorry. She did.
So she swam
a little and floated. Don't give it to her. She got to earn it, right? Dude, 10 months old.
10
this is
months.
This is it. This is our life. In a window into parenting in our house. Clearly not good enough.
Yeah, but that's why she's gonna be crushing people when she's like 4.
It was cool though. It's cool. It's cool to see. It's really cool to see. And you know what? If I'm gonna give any advice at all, I highly recommend if you have a newer child, any child, get them to learn how to swim. It's a very important skill. It's a life-saving skill. I wish I swam earlier. I'm okay at swimming. I could be much better. I'm going to look into taking like a lifeguarding class to learn how to be a better swimmer, more proficient, a safer swimmer. It's good. So if you're a parent, do it. Highly recommend it. Any cost, unless you're struggling, but I think you should definitely do it. The name of the program, Marissa, is ISR is the name of the program. It's Infant Swim Rescue, I believe, is the acronym. I could be wrong on that, but either way, ISR swim. Look into it in your local area. It's good to do. Not for adults. Just join your local Y, take a swim class. Oh, I see. It's Marissa says, because I'm telling you internet, so I don't want them to hold her to a high standard. Fair. But it's cool. That's it. That's my little piece. Get off my high horse. I just wanted to applaud my wife and my young child who do a lot of hard work and can now do the swim. And she'll get better at it. It's cool. Oh, this is it. See, Marissa's coming in hot right now. This is the mom. This is the mom in her. There isn't a cost in your child being able to save themselves in unexpected water. This is true. Anybody got anything to add? Auntie, you got anything to add there?
No, I think Marissa mic dropped it. I'm just a proud auntie. She's so cute. She does all the things.
Yeah, I did. We didn't do any of that. Except for
she's tough.
Yeah. Smiles a lot. All right, guys. Well, next week we will talk about strength and strength methods. Every one of us will come prepared. Tyler was prepared. Can't speak for anybody else. I was prepared. It's all right. Give us more time. Harley wanted to talk off the top of his head. He is very smart. So I was like, all right, yeah, I love it. It's good. But it's good to know some strength methods. And then we'll do some like aerobic. We already did some aerobic methods. So we'll do some strength methods and then maybe even like some gymnastics stuff. I don't know. You guys let us know. DM me if there's anything that you want to talk about, learn. Appreciate you guys watching and watch Legends. Follow along. We'll love it. See you guys next week.